Stitchy friends, welcome to the Starlight Stitching Co. Flosstube video number 37. And I'm the creator behind Starlight Stitching Co. Today is Thursday, June 27th, and welcome back to my Flosstube channel. It's been quite a while since I've had a video. I didn't mean to take a month-long break, but life got busy and some days I just wasn't feeling it, and such is life. But I am back. I have a lot of exciting finishes to share with you, some really exciting news, several whips, and some giveaways at the end. So first off, let's dive into finishes. Fair warning, this is going to be more of a general craft tube video instead of just a floss tube because I have knitting and quilting thrown in there as well. So my first finish, I am actually wearing. This is my finished harvest cardigan that I knit with my own two hands. It sounds so silly. This is some Bad Sheep yarn, worsted weight in the color Wild Blueberry, and it has really pretty blues and purples, and I love that it's finished. It's just a tiny bit oversized, so when it's cool I can pull it down over my hands. I guess that's the good thing about knitting your own garments. You can make them as long or short as you want. It's stretchy enough that I can wrap it around tight if I'm cold. And of course I have finished this at the end of June when it is nearly 100 degrees outside. So we are going to get rid of this for now. But I am so thrilled to have my very first fully finished knit garment for myself. Let me just fold this up really quickly here. And also, I have almost two full balls of yarn left. So that means I can make myself a matching Musselburgh hat. Maybe later. I have at least one Musselburgh hat I need to knit first. So what's going to be next on the knitting? I'm going to work on a shawl that I haven't picked up in quite a while. I didn't bring it in to show you because I haven't had any progress on it recently, but I'm going to pick that back up and get it finished before starting anything else. Fingers crossed. I've really been in a mood to get some whips finished. I don't know why. I don't know what's come over me. That's highly unusual, but that's what I've done. Oops, sorry, shaking the camera. So this is a quilt that has been a whip for a very long time. It is my take on the Heartstrings quilt pattern by V&Co, but I have switched up the colors. The V&Co had this dark color as the background with a light gray as the larger piece diamonds, and that's what mine looks like. I still can't get far enough back for you to see the whole thing. So I started this quilt in 2021, I think, and I got the top finished pretty quickly. But for some brilliant reason, I decided that I was going to try to free motion quilt this myself on my sewing machine. This is the last quilt that I will free motion quilt. It is just not for me. I don't really enjoy the quilting process to begin with, And the free motion quilting process just adds a whole nother difficulty to the task. It's definitely challenging. So I think for the most part, I'm going to just save up some money to have my quilts quilted by somebody else. That way they can be done and we can snuggle under them instead of sitting as a whip forever. So I have this floral print on the back. I don't remember where I got that from. And I made this fun flanged binding with a stripe and a pink. That was a new technique that was fun to learn. I guess I probably should have picked more of a reddish pink because there's not a lot of this hot pink in here, but it still works. The quilting is not by any means perfect, but it will still keep me warm when it gets cold. Excuse me while I fold this up real quick. Okay. The next is another quilt whip. This is one that I did have quilted, but I hadn't taken the time to bind it. So I finally got my rear in gear and added the binding to this one. This was a block of the month from Craftsy, back when Craftsy actually sold supplies instead of just a subscription. And it's called the Les Amis quilt kit. Hopefully you can see most of it. It's very pretty. I love it. As I'm tripping over everything. The quilting is beautiful. I believe this one I sent out to Mandy Mead Stitches. She was local for a time up at the fort and was able to get this quilted for me and delivered back. It's beautiful. There's this bird print that matches the colors nicely that I'm pretty sure I also got from Craftsy when they were selling all of their inventory. It's a large quilt, and I bound it in some of the same turquoise color fabric that's used in the blocks. There we go. And those are all of my finishes, but I do have a lot of whips. First, I do want to share one cross stitch finish, and this one is a little bit exciting. More like a lot of bit exciting. So this is my design called God Shed His Grace. This was inspired by the view that you see when you're driving through northwest Missouri, through the hills. And the giant flag and the clouds, and I just love it. I love everything about it. It was a lot of fun to stitch. Picking the colors to get them all to show up was a bit of a challenge. But, ugh, just so good. And where can you find this pattern, you might ask? Well, let me show you. You can find it in the summer issue of Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher. I'm so thrilled to have the opportunity to have my pattern published in this magazine. And here she is. Absolutely fabulous. Now, there are some really, really good patterns in this magazine if you haven't seen it yet. I don't really do punch needle, so I probably won't show those. Pardon me while I flip through really quick. But the two that I definitely want to stitch, and I'm sure you've seen other people sharing it, is this one called Miss Liberty by Teresa Kogut. So pretty. And trying really hard not to show the charts. Patriotic Basket by Croquette Go-Go. And there's this cute little small with the eagle. So pretty. And a lot of stitches in there, too. That border is intense, for sure. Those are the two that I'm really looking forward to stitching out of this magazine. But there are lots of other amazing choices besides my own pattern. So I'm super happy about that and excited. And I have an extra copy of the magazine that I will send to a winner that will be in the giveaways. So part of the reason why I was able to get my sweater finished is that Little Miss is taking swim lessons. So that means at least a half an hour every day I'm sitting by the pool with nothing to do but twiddle my thumbs. So I took my knitting project with me and knit on it while I was waiting for her lessons to get done. Now the sweater is finished, so what am I going to work on? I pulled out, oh, I should have brought the cover sheet up with me, Snow Magical by Brenda Gervais. This was a stitch along with Nicole Spohr in the wintertime. I have it in a hoop because this is a 40 count, and for 40 count linen, whoops, I need a hoop. And I know you're not supposed to leave linen in the hoop, but we break rules every day, don't we? So I had the bulk of the stitching done. Was it still winter or was it early spring? I don't remember. And all I've had left is the fill-in in the bottom and the fill-in of the sweater. So after 3 days of swim lessons, I was over in this section when I started. I'm now about halfway finished with the white fill-in. So even though it is absolutely sweltering outside, I am thinking cool thoughts and stitching some snow to fill in this sweet little snowman. Maybe I'll actually be able to have it finished before winter. Wouldn't that be nice? So let me get this tucked away. Let's see, I have had a few new starts. I think I'm going to show you one big whip, and then I think I'm going to flip you to a top-down camera to make it a little bit easier to show my whips. So the next one is Let Love Rain by Teresa Kogut. I started this as my birthday start last year in September, and I've been steadily working away on trying to get this one finished. Since I finished my model stitching that I had to get done, I decided that the rest of the month of June I was going to work on, for the most part, just this one piece. And I'm stitching this on a 32 count raw silver linen from Zweigart with my own color conversion. And y'all, here is my progress. Isn't she beautiful? Let's get a little bit closer. So I have added a ton since the last time I shared with you. So give me just a minute to rearrange and we will take a look at the top-down view. Okay, now we have our top-down view. This is a little bit different from me, so please bear with me, but it's going to be a lot easier than trying to hold it up and point it out. The last time I shared it, I had everything done past this chain, had some of these leaves done, and had started over here. These motifs in the rows are a lot of fun, but there was one day where I just really wanted something where I could stick with the same color for an extended period of time. So I continued with the border all the way around here. So I have both of the greens in the border completely done. I have these little flowers totally done. And I've started to add in some of these bigger flowers. I'm kind of channeling my inner Handmade by Sarah W. and color completing each of the flowers. So here I've started with the dark brown that's in the very center of these flowers here. And I've done the dark brown so far down to here, but I'm going to continue all the way around with the dark brown and then do the lighter brown all the way around and then do the pale yellow and then the dark yellow. So then all of my flowers are done. That has made it fast and easy and a lot of fun. I've added in these chains here. I do still have a couple of accent stitches that go in between the chains on both of these that I need to do. I've completely finished the alphabet and these two sweet little crowns on either side and this chain. So I really want to get the flowers done and then maybe start on this giant motif here because that does have quite a lot of large areas of same color stitching. But it's really starting to look like it might actually be possible to finish this year. I don't know if I'll get it done before September when my birthday is. I have at least one model that I need to stitch in July, and I want to do some patriotic stitching in July, so we'll see. But this absolutely beautiful chart, oh, I've had so much fun working on it every night. Now this is something that's really large, so I haven't taken it with me camping because, I mean, camping is a dirty thing. There's dirt on the chair and everywhere else, and I'm afraid I'm going to get my fabric dirty. So that has been an at-home stitching chart, and I have it here in my tote. In the front of this tote, I have At Home by Brenda Gervais. Maybe that will be my next focus sampler piece because I really want to see that one done too. I don't know. We'll see. All right. Next, what do I have and where? Did I start this? I know I kitted it up. I've had this pattern for quite a while, and I kitted it up with some Classic Color Works and a scrap of the 20 count Aida that I dyed, but I did not start it, so it's just kitted. Okay. I've been focusing so much on Let Love Rain that I can't remember what in this bag o' patriotic stitching I had actually started. All right. Ooh, chart, sorry. I'll have to blur that out. The next one I have started is a new start. It is American Sampler House. This was recently a stitch along with Nicole Spohr and Chantel and Sweetwater Stitcher and several other people. And I am stitching this on 36 count Pushers Corleen by Lape and Loops. Absolutely stunning fabric. And I basically have most of the alphabet done, the roof outlined, and a few windows. So just a small start on this one. We are going to be going camping for an extended 4th of July weekend. And I'm going to take this project bag with me so I can focus on some patriotic stitching. So that will be in my plans for next week. Also in here, I have the lovely Patriotic Quaker. Oop. Gosh, I'm so out of practice. So in here I have the Patriotic Quaker by Primrose Cottage Stitches. I'm going to stitch this on some 32 count raw gold linen by Zweigart. And I have picked out some floss from my stash for that. Some Nighty Night Ribbon Red and Weeks Dye Works whitewash that will look really lovely on there. And then I also pulled out my From the Heart Needle Art by Wendy July Quaker. I've fallen behind on my monthly Quakers, big surprise. And I'm going to use my 20 count white Aida with the same colors as my Patriotic Quaker, and I'm going to add in Summer Sky for the lighter blue. And I think that will look absolutely lovely. So that is everything that is in my Patriotic lineup for this summer. Also in here I have my Land That I Love by Teresa Kogut. I haven't picked this up since last year. Since it's in here, let's take a peek. Oh, so pretty. Maybe this will have to be the sampler I focus on. It is closer to a finish than At Home. I don't know. To be decided later, but this is also on a 32 count raw gold. And with all the called for colors, and it looks stunning. Now, I do have more of these barn quilt totes in stock. I know the photos are quite a bit darker than they actually are. It was a rainy, cloudy day when I took those photos, but these are so pretty, and I love the patriotic feel to it. So much fun. Okay. In this tote, what's inside is some floss for a sample that I can't show you. But I do have a little bit of my haul in here with a new start. So if you received the Primrose Cottage Stitches Sip and Stitch, the most recent one, we were given the berry basket pattern. And that day I immediately cut a piece of Atomic Ranch Freeze. I think this is 18 count, maybe 16 count, I can't tell. And I have a small start on the house there. In the Sip and Stitch box, we were given this pattern, and we were given the strawberry quilt pattern, all of the floss required, as well as some stickers. The strawberry quilt, I'm going to stitch on some of this fabric here. It's a pale pink. It is washing out as white. I don't think I have anything white to put behind it, but it's a pale pink. Very pretty, and I think it will look really nice with that strawberry quilt pattern. Oops. The final whip that I have is with the chart right open to where you can see it. Plum Street Samplers American Welcome. There were several people starting this as a stitch along with the Floss Boss and Cousins. And I had just recently received the pattern and decided that I was going to stitch along too. So I pulled out a piece of 36 count Campfire Smoke fabric from Lape and Loops, and I started in the middle. So this red house is totally finished, and I am working on the white house next to it. I haven't picked this up in a while. I'd thought about taking it with me for 4th of July weekend, but I think maybe I just want to focus on the couple smaller charts that I have in there and hopefully get a lot of progress on, but this is a contender. And I have this in a very scrappy cross-stitch tote that I made with leftover bits of fabric from lots of other previous totes. I really do love those for my project bags. Next up, I have my haul. Not a ton. Here is the finishing kit that came with the Sip and Stitch. The mug was really cute, but it is downstairs in my kitchen cabinet because that got immediately put to use. So here's the berry basket and strawberry quilt finishing kit. We have all the supplies to finish both of those. Then I am signed up for the Atomic Ranch Fabric Club from the Crafty Grimalkin. And I get a fat quarter of 20 count Aida. The first fabric is Mellow Stone, which is a really pretty creamy color. And then the most recent one, look at that brilliant red. Sorry, there's a cat hair on there. Look at that brilliant red. Let's go ahead and take these out of the plastic. Isn't that such a lovely deep red? I don't know what I'm going to use it for, but these are definitely some really nice additions to my stash. And the last piece of haul I have is from Lily's Corner Shop. I'm sure you've seen on Tiger Lily's Flosstube, her daughter started selling lotion bars, and I ordered the vanilla pomegranate scent. And of course it came in the mail on a day when it was like 100 degrees outside, so it melted a little bit. But basically you just place it in your hand and the warmth from your skin melts some of it, and then you just rub it in. And the vanilla pomegranate smells so good. Just to try out. I'm usually really picky about my lotions. I don't like my skin to feel greasy or sticky afterwards. I don't want to feel like it's going to transfer to my stitching, so we'll see how well that does. Honestly, this is the first time I've actually used it, but it smells so good. So good. Okay. That does it for my haul, I think. So now we have some giveaways. So here I have a copy of the Punch Needle and Primitive Stitcher magazine that has the God Shed His Grace pattern in it. And I also have the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue. I'll put these both together as one prize and use the word magazine in your comment. Magazine, M-A-G-A-Z-I-N-E. And you can enter to win both of those. Here I have the Winter Quaker pattern by Lindsay Waite. This is a Pass the Stash. There is a little bit of wear on the pattern. I don't think I wrote anything in it. Nope, I didn't write on that one. So that is part of the giveaway. And these two I had duplicates of. Cottontail by Hello from Liz Matthews and The Dance by Annie Turner. And then I also have a small Nurge hoop, and I think, is this one called a Morgan hoop? when I was stitching on the 40 count, I was looking for hoops to use to make it easier to stitch. And these are just too big and bulky for my hands. Hoops usually hurt my hands. That's why I like to stitch in hand. And these are a little too big. So this all together is going to be one prize pack. And let's use the word stitch for this prize pack. And the next video that I have, I will draw winners for. That is all I have to share today. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to join me and see what I've been up to for the last month. Hopefully it won't be quite as long before the next video. I hope you have a fabulous 4th of July coming up and that you stay safe and have lots of fun and get lots of stitching done. Thank you for watching. Bye.